Togonya itu di betara ta klewo to no pehe tuli no le beta penyo poto lo siblu tu ko ade no le tu he to papu matakora betara ta ke blowai lo no awe le powe ko ade go no teninya I pehe o ro betara ta kle so ba de so no de kle besara betara ta kle di bani no wane ne yekte so da de sepo betamula betakwa so le teninya I no pehe ne no Pablo papaglu papagamla dirpa bakwa semero ta khimu haplo no le bitila ko bu ko taro pehe papura bata didora bakhu klalata to samasa lawate go no ditinya teli yo ki mosoro wate oda ta pita mala mawe pe sala no telu potwe ta so le ta palo no mi ba ta su bahag wo bu le tla kitla no du ro ta du ta ya kalau klo ado dirpa le to wo no to kwa kumla pote dirpa ne ba khimu haplo wane mitagi tadti ako ta ro bata o ditinya la sorata ko america pdo no le ta kera ta le mu misa tininya le bitila ko bu no wane ne me wada ta binyo ko te ni la no le bata he ne no pe dollar ko america pdo ki ge wo le tu mosoro di do ra tu mu ti bola he tho le ba lu klati pa no pe dollar wate ke sotni wadi to ra ke tu la gwe ta mege ro ko petu gwe ta tho du mege wane ne me wada ta ge ti no dollar ga ti ne pe dollar pa america pdo no ke pa petu gwe ta so thwe ba kharo ta ma wada di to ta hi no close le ta ma wane peace process le ko bio bu kai no ta du ta ya me to betu ta ba le de ki close wane ta de kro hi lo lo ba no to ga khan ni dine to pe do le ko america pdo no ga hi ba do so to pura tu ko ga pdo bu kwa se de pa le ko betu gwi ta ma se so thwe le ko bio bu pa plo la mu mi sa ti nya yi ko bio tu mu do top da ko no do aga de ti di do ra papua ke lu dir pa no ko o si o kla do ko ba da ta bli go pelo ba da ko america do la ke petu gwe ta ma sa khela no di bisi economy section di ta la agree about power no tu to la ge ago wani mina bata lo ba da ta pa pa ro gar ka do gomni la le mara la ko america bu ti pa no wani ne pe dollar ko america pdo ke ko chi tinya do pa tu gwe sotni pa tu gwe wate ta le do close ti pa no do gar kan ne pelo ba le pablo la tu pdo to hinita suda ko ma ko ta do kwa kamla ti bu ko po do pdo le ta po ha ti pa ta ka ba plug yo no wani ne ti ta america pdo wani ki ge wo tu la to la wani me wada peta ko tu pa ta do peta penyo la tini nyai la pe he pen lo no kai ne pagla peta reta kle no wani ne pake alagi ta se ta la Baba mubada sebulah no. Tablo. Pemikiran buat orang.
Okay, well, like, good morning or good afternoon. So, me and her, we will do the chant. We will do I will do the black chant, and you guys gonna do the red chant. It's right there. You guys see, it's Burma Army. So use the Burma Army for everybody here, and I will use the red mark. I mean the black mark. So we're gonna practice, okay?
Okay.
What do we want?
Burma Army.
Leave the current state right now. Burma Army. Stop killing Korean civilians. Economic sanctions on
Burma Army.
referring
Burma Army.
to ICC. Suspend all U.S. funding to
Burma.
Okay, does that make sense? We got it? Okay, right? Okay.
People like Burma. I'm against this. This is the translate right now. This is the translate.
Burma Army, leave the current state right now. Burma Army, leave the current state right now. Leave. Okay, so
Something. I need something. I can't. But it's like. You can see it right here. Yep.
Okay, so ready? Burma Army, leave the current state right now. Leave the current state right now. Burma Army, stop killing Korean civilians. Stop killing Korean civilians. Economic section on
Burma Army. Burma Army.
referring Burma Army to ICC. Referring Burma Army to ICC. Suspend all U.S. funding to
Burma Army.
Burma. Look better? Okay, let's try it again, okay? Okay. What do we want? Burma Army!
Leave the country right now.
Leave the
country
right now. Burma Army! Stop killing Korean civilians! Stop killing Korean civilians! Economic section on Burma Army! Burma Army! Referring Burma Army to ICC! Referring Burma Army to ICC!
gọi lên cô hà đó thì mình ngay nè mẹ bố ra cái nhau phun này là mình mới ra rồi ba khế tê ba khế tê rồi đó bây giờ tôi vẫn đang tam mà ti mà con này ta đó lấy bên đó chỉ có gì rồi nếu coi thì chúng tôi cái này đi lui chi đi lấy cho lui này giờ sao đó chỉ tên này ba chỉ bây giờ là cô ta đó à quay này bây chỉ bây giờ à tam mà ti mà con này lấy bên đó chỉ có gì lấy bố ta đi tu mình chắc thì mình ngay được cái ba leta ne ko ne behet ni nyai le bwa glu ta tu ple ta o si o ple go ba mnu ko la ne mi ma sa ti ni nyai ne bwa ga nyok lu ba khe mu ya blo de tu mu sa ti nyai do ba pota ba ta pwa me ge no ba knyo do de glu nya te no ba po mu me ge po mu ta pa we me ge mo de me ge ko le bwa ga nyok ko se ko ba ne ko ba yo to do de ba ata ma de plu de plora no ma pli ma plora ko ne bwa bwa ga nyo ko de ba ne ba khe di le pa la kla le ta su da sa le ta pli da phu to ko ta di ba ba ni ba kwe ya le ta so khe ta ku ba ku te no ta ti la a ka ba lo ra wa de ta so khe ne tu mu sa di ni ya ba de ti ba di ba no ba ga nyo de ba phe ko pa yo do ne ke ko ta de ko de ble kha phe British colony ke la ga ta de ba ga nyo bo di ba ne do ne ba ta te so ti so ba sa da ke do ne ba tu le mu sa di ni lo le ta ne ko ne de ni nya yi ba si blu lo ba ko la de le pa ke ji de ba bu ge che do ko blu le mi ba de ba le a pu do tu le la le ko ba yo a ta ma pli ma pu no tro ti kha bu ba ga nyo ka lu le a ka ko tro di a wai ne me ba ga lu de bla le ba ga to ke da le ba ga lu la tu a ra de ba go a wai ne me na ya ba me te he la ba ta ba ne me de ga le ka to ke ne da le ba ga lu la o le ta ki su no le ta ma pli ma bu a ba to le ko bi yo so bu do ata pho khi bo la ne me me de ga to ke da la wa de wa le me we pa le a pu ro do ko bi yo ta ma pli ba we me ba de ba le a professor do ba pa fa da de la ni ya yi KOA no Korean Organization of America do khu ro me ta hu da ge di do bo ya ge nyo kem le ba ti la a me ta le a kro ba kro ge che ra ko we ni ni ya yi tu he do tu awa tu he do pa pa ko da me ba gli ta su ko me ta khu ta ka pa vole par ka ni ya be tho da me not mi ra no be ma pa ra glu le ba la glu to wa din ba go no we are here not play politics with US government or United community okay so we are here not to rob the military attention no today. So today we are here. We urge the United States to urge Burmese military to immediately seek the attack on of Korean civilian and withdraw their troops from Korean territory. And we urge the U.S. government to spend all U.S. funding to Burma peace process until the Burmese army stops violating the term of the nationwide ceasefire agreement. And we urge the U.S. government to encourage international donors to suspend all funding for the peace process until the military ends its attack against all ethnic minority groups. And we urge U.S. government to impose strike economic sanctions on the military and its affiliate companies. God bless America and God bless the Korean people and God bless the Union of Burma. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Yeah, thank you today for joining us, and also thank you for answering our call. And we know today is a very, important day in uh, Burma, and also for the struggle for the Karen people and for all the ethnic groups in Burma. And in response to uh, continued military attacks in Karen State and other ethnic minority territories and the coup in Burma, the Karen Organization of America strongly condemned the military coup in Burma and the detention of civilian leaders in the country. The coup and the dissolution of parliament is a major setback for peace and democratic process and risks returning Burma to its dark past under the brutal military rule. But while the war in Tasha has not turned to the military coup, right now in northern Korea state, more than 5,000 Korean civilians, including many children, are hiding in the jungle following attacks by the Burmese military since December 2020. And civilians, including children, have been killed. And the discriminate targeting of civilians and the obstruction of humanitarian assistance are war crimes under the Geneva Convention. The continued attack and displacement of Korean civilians and other ethnic minority groups in Burma during both civilian and military rule show that ethnic minorities in Burma do not enjoy the same protection and equal rights as their Burmese counterparts. The continued suffering of Korean people in both peace and wartime underscore the importance for the international community to understand that genuine and stable democracy cannot be achieved in Burma without addressing the suffering and grievance of the ethnic minority groups in the country. Korean Organization of American call on the United States government and international community to take action against the Burmese military for their illegal power grab and repeated crimes against Korean people and other ethnic minority groups in Burma, including referring Burma to International Criminal Court, supporting the genocide case at the International Court of Justice, impose a UN global arms embargo on Burma, and impose strict economic sanctions on Burmese military companies and their cronies. A Korean Organization of America also calls on American and Korean people worldwide to boycott the Burmese military companies and products of foreign companies associated with the Burmese military. At the same time, everyone in Burma can also impose their personal sanctions on the Burmese military by not buy from the Burmese military companies. We also have the power to hurt the military by decisions we make at the shop or at the market. Korean Organization of America. Thank you.
Okay. What do we want? Burma Army? Leave the country right now. Leave the Burma Army, stop killing Korean civilians. Stop killing the Korean civilian. Academic session on Burma Army. Burma Army. Academic sections on Burma Army. Burma Army. Referring Burma Army to ICC. Referring Burma Army to ICC. Suspend all U.S. funding to Burma Army. Suspend all U.S. funding to Burma Army.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. Sorry, not a day for us presentation. especially in Putra district. They started off their new year with having to flee from the Burma army. To date, we have more than 5,000 internally displaced persons in Putra district alone. Nobody wants to start a new year like that, right? How about you, Burma army? You don't. Okay, on top of that, more than 1,100 internally displaced persons in 10 states and northern Southern states, whereas another 2,300,000 in Western Burma, Rakhine, and 10 states. And also another 4,000 new internally displaced persons on the particular continent, adding whatever 10,000 they already had. And then in countries, by 2020 December, you have more than 1,000 villages destroyed by Burma army. And do you think what? One thing? And Trini said, okay, no, the same human rights. So this is where we're coming to face here today, Paul. It tells us very well that this military is not giving up on the abuses. And therefore, what we all have to say today is enough is
Enough!
enough is
Enough!
That's it. Now it is time that we come together, show the military people that we are stronger as a united front. Aren't we? Yes, we are. Right?
Yes!
The very disturbing thing is the Burma army is immune to the international community condemnation. So, beyond the international community should start putting their acts together, not just talking, condemning, that is putting our United States of America leadership. Talking is not enough for the Burmese military anymore. With that, I just wanted to remind everyone that today we are coming to demand our rights and the rights for the people of Burma, the Grand community, as well as the ethnic groups, that we want them to stop the offensive, the military offensive operations, including drone surveillance, indiscriminate shooting, bombing, shelling, Grand state, especially in our population where they have nothing but they have to flee for life. And also we demand immediately to stop all road construction in Karen State. Because of your greed, our people have to exchange with their lives. Number 3, we want to call for the Burmese military to allow immediate humanitarian aid and cross-border aid assistance to the internally displaced people in Karen State and across the country. Because of you, the military, our people are starving. They have the food. They cannot receive it because you block the way. We also call for the release of all arbitrarily detained political prisoners, including those are recently arrested in the past few days. And we need you to return the power to the lawfully elected government and return our
With us no pola dota gorgane kapula web besulla ko kai kita ki mo chupo na ukho no with us no our internet mata aji ba ko ne or chupo no.
And in fact are placed squarely in the history books amongst the worst of those who have chosen ethnic cleansing and genocide over peace and human rights. This recent coup of the democratically elected government is the most recent example of how this corrupt regime has historically taken in attempts to silence the will of its people. After World War II, the world collectively said never again. However, since 1949, the Burmese dictatorship has systematically chosen ethnic cleansing of the Karen people, going so far as to assassinate our leader, Saba Uji, whose granddaughter is here today. They have used such tactics as murder and rape and capture, enslavement, razing villages, killing women, children, and elderly indiscriminately, and displacing some 7 million from their ancestral lands. These actions amount to nothing less than genocide. By their own words, quote, the only place you will find Karen will be in a museum, end quote. That is their goal, to wipe the ethnic minorities from the face of the earth. This, by very definition, is genocide. We come here in the very land of democracy to demand the Burmese dictatorship. This corrupt regime, hear the voice of the people born in Burma and the voice of those allies like myself that stand shoulder to shoulder with them in solidarity and unity. We demand that all people of Burma are recognized and given a voice. We collectively demand an immediate ceasefire and full and complete withdrawal from all ancestral lands of each ethnic group. We demand the return of all Karen and other ethnic group prisoners. We demand full and complete cessation of crimes against humanity. We demand all democratically elected leaders be immediately released and reinstalled. And without reservation, we demand the illegitimate military junta be disbanded and removed from any position of power. Today, we stand as a unified voice with our brothers and sisters of Burma, the United States, those trapped in refugee camps, and those forced to resettle around the globe, calling for, in the name of democracy, the world to hear our voices, the voices who have been so adversely affected by these crimes against humanity. We stand for democracy and self-determination. Even if the democratically elected leaders are not who we have chosen, as we and other ethnic groups were not allowed to vote, we still support the will of the people. We call upon the world to act to protect the human rights of the people of Burma who have spoken in favor of a free and democratic society. As we make these demands and stand in protest, we are prepared for what lies ahead. Freedom is never free. We have suffered the cost of fighting for freedom, and we will continue to fight against this inhumanity regardless. The world is watching. The actions of the Burmese dictatorship, this corrupt regime, is on full display for all to see. The world is judging the actions and will act accordingly. We will not be silent. The voice of the people will be heard. Tata Play! Tata Play! Tata Play!
Freedom! What do we want?
Freedom!
What do we want?
Freedom!
Hannah, earlier is this one or okay, hold it.
Hello, peace. Oh, it's on. Hello, everyone. Peace and salam from the American Muslim community. I'm here as a representative of Burma Task Force. We work to stop the genocide of the Rohingya people and work to fight for justice for all minorities of Burma. We've been working with the Quran community, the Kachin community, the Shin and Chin community to bring people on the table, all the persecuted people of Burma to come together because your enemy is the same. It is the same generals, the same military, the same killers who commit genocide in the south and commit genocide in the north. They aim their guns at the south, at mosques, and aim their guns at the north on churches. This is a matter of human rights. It's a matter of religious freedom. It's a matter of minorities. We cannot just term this as a matter of democracy. All of these aspects have to be looked at because what we see is when democracy is attacked, then the whole world comes up in arms. But when minorities are being attacked, when religious freedom is being attacked, when genocide is being committed against minorities, then the world is silent.
Right.
How come the genocide of the Rohingya has not been declared genocide by the United States government? How come all the atrocities being committed against the Karen people have not been recognized by the United States government? It is time to stop all funding to Burma except for food and medication, to ask for sanctions, targeted sanctions now. President Biden promised that he would stand up for human rights. Now he is in power. He has the House with him. He has the Senate with him. There is no reason that an execution order could not be put out on Monday. On Monday. And sanction Burma for what it has done. It has removed the civilian government that the United States has funded. We have fought for this civilian rights for years. And what has Aung San Suu Kyi done? She has turned her back on all the minorities of Burma. Right. And you all asking for freedom, this is your right. The struggle for freedom is one that Patrick Henry fought for in these United States. It's what the enslaved people of this United States fought for. This is Black History Month. Let's pay homage to the enslaved people over here and how they fought for their freedom. Freedom is a human right. So I stand here in front of you as a representative of Burma Task Force and the American Muslim community and ask you to please stand with us as well, and we will fight these oppressors together. Thank you so much. Salam alaikum, which means peace to all of you.
Thank you.
Okay, bagaimana channel one on? Okay, ready? What do we want? Leave the current state right now. Burma Army. Leave the current state right now. Burma Army. Stop killing the current civilians. Stop killing the current civilians. Economic session on Burma Army. Burma Army. Referring Burma Army to ICC. ICC. Suspend all U.S. funding to Burma Army. Burma Army.
Sonia na fa na hua na hua kom na tama ke sona yeah. Hello world, you may wonder why we are here today. I'm too asking the same question, why we'll have so many things to do. Oh lima okay na Sonia na Sonia na Sonia na okay I will start again. You got it. Hello world, you may wonder why we are here today. I'm too asking the same question. We'll have so many things to do. Either be home with our family, relax, or be watching the television at home. But this is not the case here. Let me tell you why. We are here because all of us, would like to be the voice of the voiceless, innocent, vulnerable, and the displaced current people. We are one of the ethnic groups in Burma. We've been suffering under the oppression of the brutal Burma army, and it's been ongoing over 70 years. Look at these pictures here. These are all the pictures you'll see here. These are not just pictures. These are real people, real evidence. You'll see like these are, these are the pictures. These are not the make-believe story, not like the storybook pictures. These are the real evidence of the suffering of our people, and it has no ending. These children, the civilians, they've been shelled, shot, killed, and had to flee their country. Some do not get to worship freely, while they can hear this and see the gunshot in the background. Sleeping in the jungle where there is no roof or shelter, no beddings or warm jackets. Rain or shine, cold or hot outside, and not knowing where the next meal will be coming from. Not having a homeland, proper clothing, clothes are torn, running wild naked in the jungle scared. Their houses were burned down, their lands were grabbed. They're scared, they had to flee their homeland. They're having so many sleepless nights, worried that the Burma army would be after them with guns. These children, look at the picture over there. These children, these are school-aged children. They should be in school and play as a normal children, but they don't get this opportunity because of the brutal Burma army. Some never been to school, never have a privilege or have the freedom to learn freely. They're deprived from food, and these are the ongoing things that the Burma military army has been doing to our current people. These are very inhumane, and this is human rights violation, ethnic cleansing, and genocide. I myself also had to go through the same thing before. Korean people are peaceful. They love peace. There are people not just going on their daily normal life just to survive. All they want is get to live a normal life, and there are no harm to others. Look at the situation, the current situation in Burma now. You can see the true color of the brutal Burma army. The military, they don't like peace and democracy. It even turns against its own people, let alone the other ethnic groups. They have committed war crime, ethnic cleansing, and genocide. But today we are here fighting for democracy to stop ethnic cleansing and genocide. Burma army doesn't value human life. These acts are unacceptable. We ask that these activities are stopped and the whole world condemn this human rights violation along with us. We can't let the world just sit and watch this. We need the whole world help. We need your support. We want the whole world to help resolve these ongoing issues. Let me say that you don't have to dig deeper for the truth and evidence. They are already here. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. We ask that the whole world to stop supporting them with money. The money you gave did not get to people who are in need. You can clearly again see here where the money was coming from. The house was burned down, were burned down, and the kids were running away. Because they're purely using this money to buy ammunition to kill the innocent people. Please, America and the whole world, we ask that you you stop the brutal Burma army regime and bring them to justice. The whole world knows about the current situation in Burma, but we also ask to please have a look at our Korean people's situation. Remember, the Burma army is evil and deceitful. Please sanction them. I'd like to thank every country that allow people to come and live. We have the right to live freely. We are living a better life, but we can't forget those who are left behind. But because of the COVID situations, not everybody can join. We appreciate everyone back home for your support. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
What do we want? Burma Army. Burma Army.
Stop killing civilians. Stop killing civilians. Burma Army.
Burma Army. You're going Burma Army too?
ICC.
Burma Army. Burma Army.
Yeah, we can go next. Oh.
Okay. 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 Good morning. It's really an honor to be here with you. I'm Wendy Wright with Christian Freedom International. I'm speaking on behalf of American Christians who care about what is happening to the Karen in Burma, in Myanmar. Karen may be a small people, but you have had a very large impact on the Americans. As you've come to live in America, many Americans have come to know you and love you. And then they hear your stories. They hear of the atrocities, the horrible things that have happened to you and to your children. And all you want is to live peaceably in your land. But you had to flee. And many Americans stand with you as they hear your stories. And we do as well. We care for you. We pray for you. And we pray that the American government and other governments will stand against the Burmese military and the Burmese government, against their atrocities, and anyone who does any business with the Burmese regime. We need to remember that it's not just America that needs to act, because then the Burmese military and the regime will just turn to other governments like China. And so America must also put pressure on other governments and corporations. Corporations are benefiting from the takeover of the land and the resources in Burma. We must put the pressure on corporations to stop profiting from the killings and the massacres and the takeovers in Burma. We care about the Karen, those of you here in America and in Burma. And what's important is you continue to keep telling your stories. Tell people what is happening. Your voices are important, and we are listening. We are listening. We care because you are people who have won the hearts of Americans. We have a small motel in Michigan that was helped to resettle Karen, and the people in that community came to know the Karen and love you deeply. You have been a blessing to America. The Karen community have been a blessing to America, and we want to help you. So what we see from the Bible is that God turns a curse into a blessing. The curse that you have experienced brought you to America, and your voices have become louder because now you are in America. Now we can turn the curse of what is happening, the attacks happening in the Karen villages now. Let's ask God Almighty, the creator of all things, to turn that somehow into a blessing, to eliminate the power of the Burma regime, to have a complete turnover of things in ways that we could never imagine. But we also know this can only happen through the power of God. So on the American government to do all they can, call on the ICC to do all they can, but I also, together collectively, we beg God, Lord God, intervene, and remove the evil powers in Burma now, and cause the righteous, the light of the righteous, to shine brightly. Thank you. Oh, here. Thank you, Eddie.
What do we want? Burma Army, leave the Karen state right now! Leave the Karen state right now! Burma Army, stop killing Karen civilians! Stop killing Karen civilians! Economic session on Burma Army! Burma Army! Referring Burma Army to ICC! ICC! Despite all US funding to Burma Army! Burma Army! Sure. Yeah.
Walage. It is my honor as Thramudo Debbie Kelsey to share, in addition to the wonderful speakers we've heard. You know, this United States is a place of many peoples and a place of many faiths. And what a privilege today to join my voice with people from multiple faiths on behalf of the Karen people. When I see the picture of the little child who's crying, he's carrying this basket with the strap around his head, I think about the children in my church, the little Karen children who are so precious. And sometimes they cry because I've preached too long, right? And they're ready to go home. Or sometimes they cry because they don't get to the cookie table fast enough and their favorite cookie is gone. But it breaks my heart to see images like this of little children, just like children I know, who have had to leave their homes. They have to carry heavy loads. They have no place to go. And so they, with their families, run and hide in the jungle. This week, I lost a dear friend to COVID, my fellow pastor, Thrado Daniel Calvin Sand. And Pastor Daniel told me that as he grew up in Karen State, there were 5 different times where the Burmese military came in and forced his family. They said, either you burn your house down or we're going to shoot you. Can you imagine 5 times in your childhood having watched your parents burn your own house down and flee into the jungle. This has been going on for too long. This has to stop. The Burmese military must get out of Karen State. The Burmese military must let the Karen people develop and use the land in ways that are good for their own welfare. I call on my government to continue to say this is not right, that the coup must step aside. They must release the people they have arrested. They must reinstate the democratically elected leaders. And certainly all of us have to be aware of how money is invested in Burma. We need to have sanctions that are targeted so that the people themselves, the people who are already hurting, are not further harmed, but so that the welfare, the benefit does not go to the Burmese military. We are strong when we work together. We know right now internet and telephone service is being cut off in many places in Burma, but we want any of our brothers and sisters in Burma who are listening to know we stand with you. We will not forget you. We are in this fight with you for your welfare. You are so gay. Amen.
Thank you. What do we want?
Burma Army, leave the corruption right now! Leave the corruption right now!
Burma Army, stop corruption! Stop economic section on
Burma Army!
Burma Army! Referring Burma Army to
ICC! ICC!
This been all you asked funny to
Burma Army! Burma Army!
You know. Yeah, yes.
Macam. Tapi malah, kau ada orang tahu dah yo, lo solat dah kau ada. Nak saya kau perlu bala tahu dah yo aku dah dah. Yakin nak cari cemo. Men mi malah kaki agak lem nyale babu kene. Tapi lo, ini me cakap jino, wah, dah behebel Ohio kau se, dah mu dah pa kecil luya, dah behel kau betul lo bayi. Di dalam bagian tidak tu kau dah di kau di panjang dah. Ini kami dalam bag puluh dalam bahasa tu bahasa Arab tu boleh dipanjang. Letak babu baglu, lah bagu asmera dah kami tu pula, lah sekedar kekeh ni lah. Abu ini dah sekedar nak pergi itu minta bahasa bado. Ni dah tiada kisah lah muka ketek doa. Apa dah tu hu mageba. Kenyo kalau Amerika dipanjang lah kedua orang ni. Ada dah kelihatan kanya aku dan dah kalau lo bukan bahasa Siblu kisah juga. Tapi kalau kau bersibuk bahasa kau, kenyang Amerika le, tu orang tak pernah yar kai, tak pernah tilo bahasa, mama buat geli tapi lama le, cek dokan ni lah. Kenyang geli, kami kuat kedai kenyang geli megeli le, kalau soal di geli kela, le aku terpilihnya ya ame biko. Pamela ni, labu gui, masuk geli dosa tu nu banyak orang, tarik dakle lo di lo se, takut takwa, asuk do. Kira palo di lo kema hawa gui, kenyok geli banyak i, lo kome pipo, lo kema lo du kenyok por banyak lo kome pipo lo, asana kira kenyok geli, kalau mak gui lo kome pipo amenya, muncul ini ni, ubah geli lo ada lo kuda belinya, lo kome pipo ni, ketinya mau wen lo, tak codi mata bui, ubah kenyok geli, lo kelak bah. Apa lo tadi dah ya? Apa lo fiti tak kelak lo kaku? Putih kau ya? Close tak suatu ni keludu tak kuat lo tirpanya. Di tu robu bagli kalau magu bahasa tanah kiro. Bagli tu sekali gue amenya. Bebaratinya arok baru. Lo aku lebihnya ya ame pikun lo. Bagli ada mula kita beli kau tu beli. Kalau ada mula ni dah mula ku. Lo kau kira cia kau ini.
me ta mula la yi deli pasara dilab ta manu phot deri ba pasa ta le ba phlo ta ne ba kli ta mula ne dimu sa te salo ba not bloody ban lo lan ba kli ko ne mane te ta manu la sara le ni bu ko bu ke tu do ta ba kli ta la kli su no pon li ta nya o no yi la ko nya li la ta vi ta wa ta ke wa ba su wa we o do tin no le tu te le lo kwi ko nya ti su kli ga ti de me se to ko do ta vi ta wa ta ke wa ta mu le tu lo ne o chu wa la pe do na ti ta nya o do bu ka di do so ko ke nya a ke lu ke we khala bu mara di to bu mara se di to lo da ba bu mara do te bu mara chi te ba sa ro pe me mara si si bo ta kha pe me ma le bu ba ke li ko no pa ta ma si si bo khai ne pe me di sa la bu ba ba do mu ko te ni ni ne ko ke sho ke bu ba ke li so ki te ble ko te ble do bu sho bu ba ke li so ta ma nu bo de ti ba da ne lo đó quê cái nhóc lì thì phải mà đi mà sao lấy bị cái nhóc lì nó bỏ rồi đi chỉ có bố bà phụ đó cái nó bỏ lệ cái đó nè nó bố bà cái lì đó mà ra phía trên chỉ phụ bà sa đi ta đi đó bị mình đi sa lo bởi vì bà lao đâu bà đó bởi sự cái bố bà cái lì su ta mà nó bỏ được gì bà rằng lo mà cái nhóc bố cô cái bố lệ đó ta qua đó lo ta được ra đó bố cô đó ta đốt xuống mà xí lo ta không bỏ được cái mà giờ số cái bà đó bố quên lại lấy tiền nhá bố bà cái lì lo cô đó lấy nhá lo so da bu baglu le ba kwa sime ra da ke mu ra plo le mu sa ni re ke tablu
Everyone, Burma Army, leave the president right now. Leave the president. Burma Army,
Okay, now I can book a movie interview. I get a Miss Hannah, no? Okay. Oh yeah. Hello, Miss Hannah. Thank you for being with us in this sudden event. Did you participate in the rally? And what do you think of it?
Yes, this was a beautiful occasion to get together with the Karen community. I'm here as a representative from the Burma Task Force, representing the American Muslim community and the Rohingya community in support of your struggle and the oppression done against your people, the Karen people, because this is the same army, the same generals who have committed genocide against the Rohingya people. We have been fighting for our brothers and sisters in the Rohingya, in the Rakhine state. They understand your struggle because they know they have suffered through it, and they give their full support to your struggle. And we want the military out of the Karen state as well. We want justice for people in Karen state. We want Karen Christians to be able to practice their religion freely, and this is why we're here. We work for justice for all, for establishing of justice and human rights across the world, especially for minorities. And minorities need to work together. This is very, very important because your enemy is the same.
What motivates you to participate in this rally, and what is the takeaway here?
My motivation comes from my faith. I'm a Muslim, and God says to establish justice in the world. And establishing justice means that people have the right to live freely without oppression. And we want to stand with you. We stand with you against oppression everywhere. And we urge everybody in our communities to stand with the Karen people in their struggle. The coup that just happened in Burma was done by the same military who has burned mosques, who had burned churches, who has committed atrocities in Karen state, in Chin state, against the Kachin people. We have to realize that this army is ruthless. They will not stop. You cannot engage with them in the same manner that we have been engaging with them in the past years. Look, if we had stopped them earlier, then we wouldn't have been at this state. The United States government put all their eggs in Aung San Suu Kyi's basket. They said that she would be able to handle this. Democracy would be able to handle this military. And now you can see that not the same Aung San Suu Kyi who went against the minorities in her own country, now her own military has gone against her, and they have betrayed her. She betrayed her people, and now the military has betrayed her.
Thank you. What do you want to say about Myanmar's government allowing military attacks on the current ethnic and the neighboring ethnic in Myanmar?
This is their tactics. They want to oppress anybody who is not Burman. They want to clean their country, quote unquote, of anybody who practices a different religion, who has a different ethnicity, who wants to not toe the main line. And this is atrocious. The world cannot stand by and let this happen. The military people who are selling military guns, weapons to there needs to be an arm embargo, worldwide arm embargo against the Burmese military. That is, we call for that. We call for that in the United Nations. We call for Russia, China, India, Israel to stop selling arms to the Burmese military because of what they're doing to the people in the current state, what they're doing to people in the other ethnic areas, and what they have done to the Rohingya people.
Thank you. And the last question is, what is your takeaway from this event?
So this event, this is so amazing. My friend Myra, who is a Karen leader, she just told me that so many people don't live in Washington, D.C., and they've driven for miles and miles in different states to come here. And this is not easy for refugees to give up their jobs, because a lot of refugees work on a day-to-day basis. And for them to sacrifice, it's not the same thing as walking down from, 2 streets over. This is a big sacrifice from the Karen community. And we recognize that. And the least we can do is stand in solidarity and amplify your voices.
Thank you so much for your time. Okay. Hello, cho Helena. Helena. Okay, now, begin to view like Lawana now with that. Okay. So, negative Nami, Nami Nasana.
My name is Gina Wa, and I'm coming from Ohio State, Akron City, to represent the Korean community of Akron.
Thank you so much. Did you participate in the rally? And then what do you think of it? And of course, you're one of our speakers, so can you say more about it?
Us Korean people, as I am the Korean, I am very proud to be involved in this rally, and I'm very proud to represent and stand with our brother and sister who has suffered in Burma right now from the Burma military who came and took over our land and oppress our people. And it made me feel so proud to be standing here today to use my voice to speak for them.
Yes, thank you. What motivates you to participate in this rally?
As Korean, I feel the responsibility of me standing with my people, standing for my people. As I have been through this situation, and I've been along all my childhood, I have to flee. I have to leave the country. So I know how hard it is, and then it is what I am here today to stand up to stop what is happening right now to our Korean people.
What do you want to say about Myanmar government allowing military attacks on the current ethnic and the neighboring ethnic in Myanmar?
What do I want to say about what?
The government allowing ethnic and
Like the foreign government or the Burma government?
Burma.
For the Burma, because they are Burmese and they fight against our Korean people. I've been learning the history of the Korean. It's all about Korean bad. So it don't make any difference that the government allowed the Korean people because they already have a plan before they want to wipe out the Korean people out of the surface of the earth. So I think um, it is kind of against the human right, but part of it is just I think ethnic cleansing. Uh, I don't think the government is care much of the ethnic people in Burma. That's why they allow the military to come and attack as they wish.
As 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 a leader, what would you like to say to the world leaders about the event that is happening?
I want the international community leader and all those that are responsible for peace and human rights to open their eye and to hear, to see, and to feel, and not to just believe what they be told, but to uh, to come and feel for themselves, to see for themselves, and to to hear through who is be suffering, and to see through what is happening, those to believe, those that be through the situation. I want to tell them not to just believe what the government tell them, but to believe the people who be through the situation.
Thank you so much for your time.
ICC! 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 Army! Army!
Okay, with us, and I'm going to do the show with a continue with interview now.
Yeah, we da lo sampu we le ka America no USA ke ki pla da le ya ta yo mi ya bi do ma da ne pa no ta su pe ka le to si ka to sampu ba ki ba ga ti pa pe yang le yo ma ti he plo le me la chbo chba ku chung na ma ti plo ka na ke plo ku na wo ti ma ti wa plo na ma ti wa plo su pla pe ti pa na ha yo mo lo wa ha yo ta pu ni ana la na mo ti la sal pu ni ana da ba kha da o na pa so ti pa lo no mai ma ti da no thang kha da plo da ga pa chalong ti pa no ha yo na plo sa ku ti pa wi ma to da le chala le sta chalong yo bi do chi tho chali le pho kha da plo sa pu le o tho le chi kha to ti pa no de ni o to sa pu le yes kha pa le kha pa ko na le stay abai ye ok te da le la ni a ga la ya ba da ke chi tho location le pho lo o tho le to chi kha ka na ti pa ga sa ni ha ne e do te mi ja
Patu pita nyoman lo behe chi pulo da lo di da buket teor kior kola da da lo mar kola da đó bù đầu về có bù có khờ đi đó tên nhà áo lò đàm ó bài cái ba lò đà đi là bên mình đã từng cái này từ vi đam mi ba war bù để chỉ ba ta ba để đó có coi ba ba phố lò đà ta cứ nó mà là chỉ phố lò đà ní nhà này đáp được lo
Me tabli tadi. Sorry, I need to have a question too.
This is print or video or?
Oh, this is live right now.
Oh, live.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, so we're from Kokile Today News, and then like I mentioned before, so we have 2 questions to ask you.
Okay.
Well, first, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Wendy Wright with Christian Freedom International. We help persecuted Christians, and the Karen, our people group that we've been working a lot with. We have a school in Thailand on the border of Burma that is a Bible vocational school for Karen and Kareni and others, and it's to train them so that they can be leaders to their community.
Yes. What motivates you to participate in this rally?
The Karen people have really won the hearts of Americans and Canadians and others as you've come to America. And as we've heard about the atrocities that are being committed against the Karen are gentle and loving people who've been horribly abused by the military regime, the Burmese military regime. And these atrocities must end. And it can only begin as people know about it. So this demonstration is very important because it helps to spread the word so that more people can know and put some pressure or influence the American government officials and others to do what they can to stop the Burmese military.
Okay, now. So do you know? Nana huya kikene. With a suit text. Yatiga. Okay, Tablina. Okay, sorry. There was a technical difficulty.
Oh.
The next question is, what do you want to say about Myanmar government alignment, military attacks on the current ethnic and the neighboring ethnics in Myanmar? Will you like me to repeat the question again?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want to say about Myanmar government allowing a military attack on the current ethnic and the neighboring ethnic?
Yes, the Burmese regime and the Burmese military attacks on the Karen ethnics is shocking to us. There's the atrocities, the horrifying crimes being committed against the Karen and other ethnic minorities is ones that we cannot allow. We must speak out. We must do something. So we are encouraging the American government, the international community, the business community to stop allowing any business so that the Burmese military and the regime cannot profit from their attacks on the Karen ethnic minority.
Thank you. The last question is, what do you think of the war crimes being committed by Myanmar's military?
Yes, the crimes that the Burmese military are attacking. Sorry, I'll back up on that. The Burmese military, the crimes that they're committing rise to the level of absolute human rights abuses that the international community can't ignore. The attacks on the innocent people, the men, women, children, that's been going on for decades and is now increasing again. That we can't remain silent in the face of that. So these are attacks that have no provocation. It's purely to benefit the power and the greed of the Burmese military and the regime. We want to encourage everyone to speak out against what the Burmese military is doing.
Yes, thank you. And also, one personal question that I have is that, as you're encouraging the young current youth to become the future leaders, what do you have to say for the current leaders right now, and then the world leaders about the military attack on the Karen ethnic and the neighboring ethnic?
So the young Karen are doing their part. They're getting training through our Victory Bible Academy, training to be leaders to their own community. So they're not just sitting back and waiting for others to do everything for them. They're stepping up, and they're willing to even venture back into Burma, into the dangerous areas. Right now, we have graduates from our school that are in the Karen villages that are being attacked by the military. They have gone into the dangerous areas in order to serve the Karen people. So the Karen young adults are doing their part. It's time for the international community to do their part.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, W.
Do you have a I could keep giving you more information. Like, yeah. Because like we have video from in the village in Brigade 3. We have video and pictures of that.
We shall overcome because the moral of the arc of the moral of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Okay, I'm equality. Like yeah, they come near me. Ta ane, awa mi hai leta, phele phele na gini, muko diri na kagit la. Akame diri na awa gete la. Ako ta ne, ta mi ta to ne, phara. Mi phara ke kone, geti wala, ta ke chot leta, amna ne, ta ke muko khira gimna chawar chane, ba chawar chawar. Ko ta ne, le ima he ban ti, ima le ta ke dula ne. Terus sa chiwa. Ga bo le ko kane, si fa ti, ko ma chan dilo ke kita. Le pasra la sana, na le dua le ko puje na ne, ban tu klamusu. Sebab tadi dos tahago, sebab tak thot lo. Được bạc lưỡi có khởi phải chỉ mà cái gì à được mà này được cả đấy ta ta cái đồ nó cũng là nó tập được
tôi lên ta cái bạn đó nhưng mà cái cat đó cái này tao mình nhớ đi hết sức rồi đi à tao mình nhớ đi hết rồi nó tao mình nhớ được cái này tao mình nhớ
Save Korean people!
you want to say anything, Jay?
Yes, please pray for the Karen people. Please help out and understand what is happening. We appreciate all your prayer. We appreciate all the help, all the support, anything that you can do to understand and pray and support Karen people in Myanmar.
Thank you.
Do you want an one let's keep it on. Okay. Oh, but not my Starbucks. So sorry. This is a white privilege. Starbucks. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yep. Sorry. Okay. So first, we are Korean. We are Kotila Today News, and then it is a privilege to be interviewing you now. So I have some few questions, but first, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, my name is Laurie Stone Howell, and I am the KNDO North America liaison. I work in Canada and the United States to help General Narda get the message out to North America.
So the next question is, what motivates you to participate in this rally?
I'm motivated in part by my love for the Karen people, but more importantly, or equally as important, I'm motivated by the atrocities that I have seen over the last 10 years of my work in the Karen community. I have seen firsthand the after effects and the post-traumatic stress disorder of the people who have suffered so brutally by this illegitimate military junta No one elected them. No one asked them to be in charge. They took over and they began immediately committing atrocities that should definitely be being investigated on the international level.
Okay. So, what do you want to say about the Myanmar's military attacks on the Karen villagers in the northern Karen state right now, as they are in the jungle and being oppressed?
So the first thing that I want to say, I want to reiterate what I said in my speech, is that we absolutely demand the cessation of all activities of this illegitimate military junta. They have no place on our current ancestral lands. They have no right to commit these atrocities and to be in the place that they don't belong, which again is our Katule, our ancestral lands. I would say to our people back home, fight. Do not be afraid. This is your right to be in your home. We are standing behind you. We are doing everything we can to bring support and to bring attention to your plight. And we are here for you, and we want you to stand strong.
Thank you. What would you like to say to the world leaders of what the Myanmar's military has been committed, the war crimes that they committed, and the genocide, and then the ethnic cleansing? What do you want to say to the world leaders about these crimes?
I would speak to all the world leaders, and I would say that after World War II, we came together as a globe and we said, we will never again accept genocide. We will never again allow it to happen. Yet, for the last 70 plus years, it has continued in Burma. We don't call it Myanmar because the illegitimate military junta renamed it Myanmar, which basically means we're the best ethnic group, if you want to translate roughly. So we don't recognize Myanmar. We recognize Burma. The people of Burma deserve the human rights that we have promised the world that we would uphold as a world community. And I would call on all of the world leaders to speak out and to hold them responsible, to level sanctions, to do everything within their legal power to bring these people to justice, whether that be the ICC or whether that comes in the form of military action. We see that there is absolutely no barrier to whatever needs to happen.
Thank you so much. What is your takeaway for today's event?
I am very happy to see so many people arrive here today and to speak their mind freely and openly without fear of repercussions. We're now in the United States of America where we can speak our mind. We have the freedom to express our displeasure. There's many ethnic groups going to meet here today in front of the Burmese embassy. We are just one of many ethnic groups who will be here today and throughout the coming weeks. So I'm very heartened to see our people feel safe and strong to come out and speak up for their people. And I look forward to us doing that around the U.S. and Canada in the coming weeks. I know many are planning to do that. So I'm very excited about that.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
Thank
you.
Hello, Joy. We're from Kosila Today News, and we would like to interview you. Could you give us a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, what motivates you to be part of this rally and then help organize this event?
We baka baganya le be ole ko American e bada ko da ya bada the play ole baka he ba pla do da bada ti da chumo bada tho da ma kablo le we baganya le bati bako ne da ko da ya ti bai do ma da ko ne
where lo budak kada ya une buku suda pakai bab laura udah buka short term maju bab laura buat kenyal le pakai muya pro le ko sulen ma.
So another question is, what we would like to say to the world leaders?
Dari pada le hakku dah pula kuna ne the great del bama. Adu wedi me pada sinya ne. Ta hekke da lo ko bio kike le kenyal ko ne awe the great del bab la lu bue limo me pada sinya na pura bakada bakanya da ri da klu te bio da ma mana bakanya di depan ma.
Udah dah tidak paling ni dah tiada ada sunya kenya po tasa kuna dah apa tada milih dah tu ni udah mimia
Me le kuda ku bagus deh sudah nanti kuda ya le naga do deni keda le bakanya le beti buka la da kuda ya do bana.
and then what is one takeaway from you from this event?
For this event, one takeaway from me, bada le da ke we me da do the blog ma. Kachinya le kine ko di dadu la. Aku ne buat baganya tidak pa lo le ko America me le tiko America me nama. Awe buka sura resistant, non violent resistant kai. Berada buka chat da biau da buka khiu da betul tidak pa le ba pla da buat ne da ke do ne ke da lo buka da ke chat ke chat pressure da ke biau betul tidak pa ne.
Okay, thank you for your time lah. Okay, terak kena. Okay, terak kena kita lek lawan no. Nanda lek lawan tiga. Me. Okay, no. Achune kita plan nugi deh, jangan lebih nasa nugi.
Oh, okay. My name is Graham Moon, and I am General Secretary of the Career Organization of American.
So the first question is, what motivates you to be part of this rally and then to organize this rally as one of the KOA committee?
Yeah, of course, career issue is, top of my head. And also, I guess, career issue is always, should be top of, everybody, head. So basically, today our focus is on, what is happening in current states, where we have more than 5,000, current civilians, are hiding in the jungle because of the military attacks. And we understand that very little is known by the international community, and that's why we came here to raise this awareness, to show to the world that the correct people are still be persecuted, and also face killing, abuse, and persecution, like pretty much every day, although Burma was experiencing some sort of democracy in the last 10 years. But at the same time, we came here not just for Karen. We also understand right now in Burma, the military took over, and so we came here to condemn the takeover, the illegal power grabs. And because we understand that Burma issue, it's very complicated, and we all need to work together to promote this democracy, because I think although democracy it's probably does not benefit everyone in Burma, especially the ethnic minority groups, like Karen. We understand that democracy is important for the stability, peace and human rights, and also a rule of law, in Burma. So we also, are here to show our solidarity with the people of Burma, for what they are, facing right now, because we know there it's an imminent, threats right now, because the army and the military, in Burma is shutting down all communication channels, to the outside world. So we came here, to raise awareness, to be with them. And of course, as I said earlier, our main objective and our, goal is always to promote, current issues in tandem with other, ethnic minority groups and other issues, affecting Burma. Yeah, that's why we are here.
Yes, thank you. And then we know that a lot of evidence, a lot of information is already out there of what the Burma/Myanmar's military has done. Um, regarding action, what can we do as a Korean community, and also our friends and families who are not Korean. What thing? What is one thing that they can do to be able to promote what's going on?
Yes, I think there are many things we can do. We can do individually, we can do as a group, and we can also do as a community. Individually, we can call our a representative, and we can write campaign letters to our senators and also our constitute representative to express our concern and what is happening in current state and also what is happening in Burma right now. And also as a group, we need to work together. I think because individually we might not be very strong, so we need to work together. As community. Cooperate with other groups who are also fighting for that right and democracy. So yeah, it is very important that we work together, and there are also ways that we can do to help the people of Burma and also especially to help the current people. Because right now there has been displacement in Korea states. Where more than 5,000 current civilians are being displaced and they need support. They need humanitarian assistance. And so we as Korean here as community or as individual, we can help mitigate this suffering by donating financial support to groups who are helping refugees in Thailand or in Korea state. And of course most importantly, we have to use our voice to pressure our representative and our government to put more pressure on Burma, especially on the military.
Yes, thank you. And then one thing that you can do, and if you are having a hard time or if you don't find ways to take action, you can contact the KOA committee staff. So thank you. So now we're gonna go to the next interviewee. Hello. Do you have a minute for us to interview you? Sure. So okay, so we're from Kokile Today News, and and we have some questions for you. Um, what you get that like a lot, no? Wala? Me. Yes, I will speak in English. So the first question is, what motivates you to come to this rally?
As for the people back in Burma, like we all suffer enough, like, and I feel like if this is going on, like if they take over again, like the 1988, like I feel like there will be like more disaster than the previous one. So it's a time that we should stop like the military from having the power again. So it's to for like freedom and everyone to have like equalities in Burma.
What do you have to say about the military's the Myanmar's military attack on the Korean ethnics and then the neighboring ethnics?
It's really sad. Like I just felt like how can you like a person attack like other person, someone who just looks like you. We might be different like in terms of like ethnicity and in ethnicity and language. In the end, we all are humans.
So when I read that, it's like really sad. It's not just the Korean, like everyone else, like the ethnic groups, they were being suffered. So yes, um, thank you for your time. Yeah. Okay nó ta biết mà nó lấy cái của bà ta đến đi nó à cô này với ta suy nghĩ cái shape up per live là từ từ qua mình cái qua phụ mình nó da da lấy Facebook nó okay à cái này nó ta biết mà lần nốt đi được qua cái cái nó so first of all thank you for being with us throughout the rallies until now through the interviews and then please continue to support us and please share and also share on your social media and also share with your friends and family and then we look forward to bringing you another news and if you have any news or that that you would like for us to talk about please feel free to message us so thank you for your time no
W ko de na tni ya ko na si ko ba ko today ta ko so le pa ko nyo po lo so ta le ko USA pa to ko me ki o e do po le dir pa le pa pha ta le ko pi yo abasi aru me nya ko na ko ne na si pa ko do ko da do ko si lu ti do ma sam la le na si ko share do disenya ba na si musus ko sir pa le ko today channel do ko subscribe ba ko today channel ta le kasumia pata ka sa tin na te ke ha update ta ki chap talk te ga ni na ke nya ba ko ga del nsi ke seklo ba pa me ge na ma ko ra pa me ge na bu pa nya po lo le ta la pu ge me ge nsi mi ti ba ta ko ra ke le nsi te phla ra me bu ba te se ba de seklo pa te se ko no na ki ne ta ke se le pa phla ra ni pa lo ba se ko ra a te tho tha na ta te pha ni lo ba ama ku ne lo pa ma ta ko ra na pu pa nya pu no isa pa ma ta ko ra pa no isa ku ne ke nya ti le nsi ka ho ro kle pa ko wa de ko le ko ma ko ra da kwa le ko te today ta so ma na di me pa nya po le o tu la ta le chile pa kla to ne le chila ko pu pa ta se ko shawa ko na pa da le pa ma ko da ko chila ko pu de pa na ki a tha ko ne ta se wa le ni nya i ta na nya i na le ko tu le mi ra ta na nya i ko ne ma na se ko ma nya ke pu da su kle ko de ko an de mi ta se wa le ko tu de today khasa da ba lu ko pu wa su wa ko de ko na de ko da se wa no na ta lu do ma